Good morning, everybody. This is Monday. It is not Monday. What day is it? It's Friday. It is Friday, May 29th. Man, the days are flying by. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it is Friday, May 29th. It's your Mind Body Soldier coaching team with your morning prayer and discussion. Today's prayer verse comes from Matthew 7:8. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be open. I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. But real quick, we're talking this month about the book Power of the Praying Wife, and we are on day 5. Yesterday, if you'd missed our video discussion, it was about sex with your spouse. Right? Today, it's about affection, more like emotional intimacy, physical affection, not sex. Right? So the author talks a little bit about a situation in which one spouse is not really accustomed to physical affection. And that's not uncommon. If you've ever heard about the 5 love languages, physical touch is one of those love languages. And if it's not your love language for whatever reason, it's kind of hard to give it and to receive it sometimes. Or sometimes it can be your love language to give it, but not to receive it. It can go, either way or both ways, right? And so what do you do when you don't get the affection that you need, or you don't give your partner the affection that they need? What do you do? Tracy, what do you do when you need affection?
What? Like, are you saying if I'm not getting affection?
No, just in general, if you need it, what do you do?
I ask for it. I legit say, can I have a hug?
Right.
And it's like that. I need a hug. And then Darren's very, very affectionate since the stroke, like very affectionate. So that part I'm very lucky for. So if I'm gonna look at the positives of anything, I am super happy about that, because I wasn't used to that before. And I'm a very affectionate person. Like, I love to hug, I love to kiss, I love to be close, So even just yesterday, I just read it right now and before our call, and it made me smile, because yesterday I came home, I had some errands to run, and I come into the kitchen. He's like, "How are you?" I'm like, "I need a hug." He goes, "Come here, let me give you a hug." And it was like, I just sat there and I just held him, like, see, that's just all I needed. It was like it filled my cup. So he's very good about reciprocating, responding to that. So I'm lucky that way. Before, not so much. So I see both sides, right? Like I have both sort of understandings. It was very difficult. So I would ask, and not so much. It was hard for him to reciprocate, because he wasn't a very affectionate child. Like they weren't very huggy people or anything like that. So he lacked that. Therefore, it was hard for him to give it, because he didn't know what that was like.
It's interesting. My husband's family was also not overly affectionate. It was like, okay, if they hadn't seen you in a while, they might give you a hug, things like that. I grew up, with a very affectionate mother, and my father was always receptive. He wasn't an initiator of physical affection, but definitely, a giver. Most of my good memories of being young was sitting on my dad's lap at night after dinner, and, after everything settled down before bed, and we would sit and peel an orange and eat, and that, and when I was little and would go to kiss him goodnight, he would always give me his cheek, and I would always, kind of fuss about his whiskers or whatever. So he started to kind of enhance the whiskers, and he would puff out his cheek like that to kind of make them really stick out. And it kind of became, this fun thing. And that's what affection should be, fun, and it should be loving. It should not be an obligatory commitment, but Stormy talks about in the book is that not her husband, but the story that she gave the spouse was not a giver of affection. It just wasn't in his wheelhouse. And so they made a commitment, and he, with his own prayer group, started, for 30 days, every day, he would start the habit of, when he comes home, from work or whatever, to hug and kiss his wife. And so sometimes that obligatory commitment is the way that it starts, by building a habit. And then as you go through the motions, somebody or both of you making the effort to actually make it, have some good quality to it, and to enjoy it in the moment. So sometimes we have to start a habit with an obligatory commitment. All right.
I did that too. I'm not going to leave the house unless I kiss my husband, because it might be the last time I get to kiss my husband. Yep. That's how the obligatory sort of repetition came about. And then it became a silly fun thing, because it was like, because I'll say, okay, bye, just you didn't even give me a kiss. I'm like, oh, and I come back, I'm like, I'm running late. And then you like make a little joke about it. It was like, okay, it just brightened my day. Like, instead of it being like, oh, I have to go back and give him a kiss, it was like, oh, okay, like now I can start my day. Like, it became a fun, fulfilling thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I hear a lot of times, and just not so much spouses, well, I do hear it in spouses, but parents and children, that as children get older and they kind of start to get those teenager years, and they start to kind of individuate and separate from their parents, they're not as affectionate with their parents, but they tend to come back around, especially if the parents, kind of maintain their consistency, the kids will come back around. And I remember my youngest son, when he was little, and he was definitely the baby, because his siblings were 9 and 10 years older than him. So he was kind of like an only child. And, at night at bedtime, he'd kind of want to delay bed, but instead of fighting with my kids, I would always make bedtime fun. And so we would play for a few minutes before bed. And so I remember, this is how it started. I would ask, I told him, I was like, okay, you've already gotten a story. We've already played for a few minutes. What do you need in order to go to sleep? Right? Instead of forcibly telling me, you're going to go to sleep, close those eyes right now. And he would be like, I need 10 kisses. And I was like, seriously, you need 10 kisses? And he says, yeah. And I said, and if I give you 10 kisses, you close your eyes and you go to sleep afterwards. And he said, yes. I was like, okay. So I kiss, 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 kiss. Next night, and that's all it took. And it started. And the next night, he's like, okay, I need 10 kisses. And it stayed at 10. But then it advanced into 100, right?
Because 100 takes a lot longer than 10, Mom. And then I can be up longer.
And so that's when I told him, I said, okay, 100 is the max, right? That's it. And so it became this game. And then I would kiss, 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 kiss all over real fast, right? And so it became this game. But then that also blossomed into, since he couldn't do more than 100, he blossomed into like a fish kiss, when you pucker up your lips, like that. And then it blossomed into butterfly kisses, which is like where you flicker your eyelashes against one another. And then there's another one, and I can't remember what it is, and you put your cheeks together. And and then an Eskimo kisses were noses. And then there was one where you put your foreheads together. And so it actually kind of became a learning game to see like kind of other, kind of slang type kisses, or Eskimo kisses isn't a slang thing, right? Different types of love and affection that occur between us. So eventually, obviously, that just kind of went outside, went through the wind in that. But now that he's 18 and he went through his separation years, his individuation years, things like that, he still, and all of my kids have done this, it does not matter what time of night that he comes in, even if it's like 12 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. My older kids are the same way, that they will come into my bedroom. I could be sound asleep, just to gently touch me and to give me a kiss, just to let me know that they are home. And even if I don't wake up, there's usually that mom sense of just that I don't know, that unconscious comfort of knowing that my child is home. And so I've always done that. And so now, 18 years old, soon as he comes to the door, he usually gives me a kiss on the cheek, or at night I go to bed, when he gets ready to go to bed, he comes in and puts his arm around me, kisses me. Right.
I love
Yeah, you know, and so things that start out as habits or playtime or whatever can grow into something so special and meaningful. And that's the way it can be with your spouse.
it.
You know,
Yes.
changing how you ask for love and affection.
Yes.
And so my husband is a giver and he's so affectionate, except when he is stressed and then he just stay away, right? But he can stay in a stress mode for several days at a time, just depending on what's going on. And I want so desperately to hug him and to help him and things like that. So if I say to him during those times, can I have a hug? It's like, yeah. And there's no involvement whatsoever. But if I do something crazy, like, you know, rip off my shirt and say, all right, I'll stand here for like 30 seconds if you give me a hug, you know?
Well, and I like that Stormy brings up in this story that she's talking about that the wife said, you know, I using loving affirmative words to my husband when asking for affection. I was like, oh my gosh, the way we communicate, like affirming, like, honey, I know that you've had such a stressful day, and I missed you so much today. Can I have a hug? Like saying it like in a way and communicating in a way that just like lifts them up instead of, like you said, Brad's already a stressful day. Are you going to bring him down even further by going, you haven't hugged me all day. I can't believe you.
Good. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I never thought of it like in that way, in that simple change.
Sometimes I'll say to him, okay, you can hug me or you can feel how sweaty I am after a workout, you know, and just make it fun. And I think I get that part of the playfulness from my mother because my mother helped raise my children. And oh my God, they were a handful, right? And she would, I swear, where she would say stuff, you know, my daughter would say, you know, Grandma, can I have a kiss or a hug? You know, I'm going to bed, kiss or hug. And I swear she would say, she says, all right, I'll give you a kiss as long as you let me spank you. And my kids would be like, what? Because she's like, well, you have been awful today. So I will give you a kiss if you let me give you one swat on the bottom. And you can see, I can see their wheels turning and they'll be thinking, how much do I want this kiss? And it would be such a game. And my son would turn around and lift his butt cheek up, be like, okay, make it quick, right?
But oh my gosh, what a lesson sort of in that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to give you something that you really want, but do you really deserve that kiss because you were bad today? So, I'll give you that kiss for spanking.
Yeah. It's so much better than taking out the frustration on the anger. It's like, no, get in the room. You were bad, right?
Yep.
All those things. So it's just it's playfulness, you know, that life doesn't have to be so difficult, right?
Absolutely.
That's our guidance for today. Words of wisdom. Put some fun and play and prayer behind everything that you do and see what happens.
Be the change.
Okay. All right. How about we say some prayers for this morning? All right. Let me find my book real quick. I'm going to read what Stormy has written us today. And it says, Lord, I pray that the commitment my husband and I have to you and to one another will grow stronger and more passionate every day. Enable him to be the head of the home as you made him to be, and show me how to support and respect him as he rises to that place of leadership. Reveal to me what he wants and needs, and show me potential problems before they arise. Breathe your life into this marriage. Make me a new person, Lord. Give me a fresh perspective, a positive outlook, and a renewed relationship with the man you've given me. Help me see him with new eyes, new appreciation, new love, new compassion, and new acceptance. Give my husband a new what the frick? Give my husband a new wife? Put that book out there. Done. Right? No. A momentary pause before we go into the real prayer. Good morning, Caitlin. What's up? Stormy just had me pray for my husband to have a new wife. That ain't happening right now. Take it off of mute and say hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So good to see you guys. Look at all the babies. I miss you guys. Well, we were just finished up our discussion on affection, and we were about to go into prayer, but then Stormy gave me some terrible advice.
I know. I read that the other day, and I was like, wait, what is she saying? And I was like, oh, a new wife in me, like a new wife. I get it.
Right.
Okay, fine. And I was like, no, what?
Glad to know I wasn't the only one. Right?
No, yeah, I heard you, and I was like, ha, 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 it happened to her too.
No, I don't want him to have a new wife. I want to have new behaviors, new love, new compassion in my heart. That's what I want. No new wife. All right. Woo. All right. Well, we're fixing to pray and wrap it up for real prayer now, right? So bow your heads. Oh, dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing us to come together. These discussions this week have changed my life. I look forward to them, and sometimes the plan for what we're going to talk about changes, and it evolves into something amazing and just beautiful. And I feel like I have taken action every day through the prayers and through the readings, and just, I don't know. All right, I'm not a new wife, but I definitely have some new behaviors and new thoughts, so that's good. Anyway, so thank you so much for allowing us to come together. I am praying that more people hop on, bring more people to us, allow people to enjoy and experience the things that we're experiencing, and to be able to see the work in our lives that you have brought forth towards us. And so this morning, I pray for patience and guidance in myself as you work on my husband to help him use strategies and learn how to release the stranglehold that anxiety has on his life. I pray for more opportunities to express emotional intimacy to him and make it a priority. All right, Tracy.
Oh, yes. I want to pray for myself and my husband, because yesterday was a day and a half, and we brought it together, him and I. It's the little things, so just, dear Lord, just remind me of the little things and help me just be patient with him. I ask for patience every day, and I'm going to continue to ask for patience every day, because patience is freaking difficult, especially when it comes to your relationship. So I, again, ask for patience. I ask also that you just help Darren, help him, continue to help him every day in his struggle. Yesterday, he had a big struggle. He was struggling hard with just feeling like he was in his body. He just, with his memory loss, with this that he's going through, it's difficult, and I know it, so help me be patient with that and walk him through it. I want to pray for my Mind Body Soldier girls, and I want to pray for all those boys going to surf camp. They're doing so amazing, so I just think it's so incredible, and I know you're with them and you're helping them, and this is an amazing way to help them getting through all their little struggles, and they're having such an amazing time experiencing this. So be with those girls and those mamas as well. I want to pray for Linda. I want to pray for Michelle and all the girls that are on, and our entire Mind Body Soldier tribe. I want to pray for my coworkers. I'm going to pray for my parents and Darren's parents and my nieces and nephews and my sisters and my entire family. Does anyone want to add anything, Caitlin or Jack? I don't know. If you do, you're driving, I know.
I would love to. I can't because I'm driving and Liam's streaming, but just praying for our last day at surf camp for safety for the kids.
Yes. Okay, good.
Safety.
And we want to pray for those boys.
Yep. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Amen. Thank Jesus. All right. Join us Monday through Saturday, 7:30-ish Eastern Standard Time for your morning prayer and discussion with the Mind Body Soldier team. All right. And we are out.